weekend, 17-15. They just couldn't get the offense going in the fourth quarter. Blew a 4-goal lead down the end. Next Saturday, right here on Bello, they have Middlebury. In between is this game against Bates, the definition of a trap game. Will they show up, or will they overlook the Bobcats, who are looking for their first ever win here on Bello? I'm Riley. Alongside me for this one is Catherine Burns. Catherine, what are you looking at today in terms of what could define this game?
I think, along with talent and skill, mindset, the Tufts Jumbos just came off of a loss, their first one of the season, and Bates just came off of their first NESCAC win of the season. So each team having a different headspace coming into this game. I'm curious to see how that will play out in the game.
Yeah, I mean, definitely mindset is so big, and especially in the NESCAC, because, I mean, you look at Bates, right? That was their first NESCAC win. It's not like they've struggled outside of conference play. 4-1 outside of conference. So it's just a testament to how good the NESCAC is, that you're not going to do well in this conference. You could be a top 25 ranked team in this conference and still finish below 500, like Bowdoin did, like Trinity did a year ago.
Exactly. We say this every game. NESCAC is just a powerhouse of schools. So many of them going to the NCAA playoffs. Yeah, so I'm curious to see how this Bates team shows out today against this top NESCAC team.
Obviously, before you can get to talking about the NCAAs, you have to talk about the NESCAC tournament, and Jumbos can get one step closer there. They can clinch a spot in the NESCAC tournament for the 10th consecutive year under Coach Shute with a win today. We'll tell you all about that, give you the starting lineups, and more. Stay tuned. We're going to turn it over to the PA for the national anthem. Welcome back here to Bello Field, and this very excited atmosphere as just some minor technical difficulties here. Should be able to deal with that momentarily. We'll take a look here at the starting lineups and some names to watch potentially. Catherine, obviously looking at this Bates lineup, one name kind of stood out, and that was Lacey Ravis. 19 goals, 4 assists on the year, second on the team in points, leads the team in goals. Just a really phenomenal goal scorer. But I think the more outstanding stat is there is no player on this Bates team in double digits in assists.
Yeah, that is correct, Riley, and I'm curious to see if that's how they play. Looking at the Tufts team, they have 3 players that have double digits for assists, which tells a lot about the team and how they work together on offense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, Jumbo's so much more of a team just in their offense. Jumbo's with 161 goals not from free positions this year. And of those goals, there have been 101 of them from assists. That is north of 60% of their free play goals off of assists. Shows you how they're going to play their offense, and it shows you what this team is about. On the other side, Bates still looking for assist number 50 as a team. So, very different strategy. And we'll take a look here, and I think one major thing to note, look who's in net, Catherine.
Wow. Sophie Paulus.
It is Sophie Paulus, her first career start.
She's had some playing time, it looks like, in the past. But interesting decision by Coach Shute.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is probably the perfect game to give her some experience if you want her to get NESCAC experience. This has been historically a one-sided matchup. Bates never having won in Medford. Draw here to be contested. As usual with Jenna Gibbons. Against her will be Sadie O'Neill for the Bobcats. And a lot of contact, push call, Jumbo's possession. And Emma Joyce not messing around, going to go right into the offensive set. One player to keep an eye on, I mean, we tell you to keep an eye on her every game, but especially today, is Margie Carden. 11 career goals in 2 games against the Bobcats as she gets it here. Conahan dumps it off to the X, Ella Esperance, who got to 100 career points Saturday at Wesleyan. Going to set a pick for Carden. Zorn now. Back to the X. Jumbo's very patient early on. Bates in a bit of a zone. Jumbo's going to try and run from the X. Inside feed, Emma Joyce, too easy.
Yeah, I think that was a little confusion in the defense that caused that open lane. It looked like they had somebody in the middle watching for cutters. Wow.
I'm getting this camera in my earphones.
While the other was cutting. I wonder if there are going to be any adjustments for the Bates defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have to adjust because otherwise they're going to get run out of the park. The Jumbos looked like they were playing in slow motion and still just like a knife through butter cut through that Bates defense.
Just like a knife through butter, Riley.
52 seconds in and the Jumbos get one immediately. Same 2 back on the dot. And I mean, Jumbo's draw control, another source of strength for this team. 62% on the year. Jenna Gibbons second in the NESCAC individually. Jumbos have 25 more draw controls than any other NESCAC team on the year.
It all starts with Jenna Gibbons in the draw.
She wins that one. And the Jumbo's going to set up offensively. Zorn thought about it. Drew 2, shooting space called. Carden. Zorn shoots just wide. Zorn. Up top, Margie Carden in an unusual spot. Swings it to Dean. Takes a cross check, gives it right back to Carden. Swung to Joyce, who just scored her 25th of the year. Dumps it off to Conahan in acres of space. L'Esperance on the X. Zorn inside. Delaney turns, shoots off the crossbar. And Bates will eventually possess with their goalie in Avery Lehman.
Bates got really lucky there. I saw Delaney in there for probably what felt like 10 minutes, just standing there in the middle, not being covered, waiting for that ball to get to her so he could take that shot.
Yeah, I mean, Bates, it's an interesting strategy. We have not really seen any team try a zone against this Jumbos attack as the Jumbos ride going to force that ball free on the turf, collected by the Bobcats. They got 5 to get it over. And they will not get it over in time. Jumbo's going to grab the ball. Correct me if I'm wrong. Shouldn't they have called a time violation there?
I don't believe so, and it doesn't seem like the refs are too concerned. I don't know the rules on that, but they're playing quickly down in the attack.
Yeah, they did and turned it over. Fernanda Pole. And here is Nicola Summers. And she can run. Might just run all the way across the restraining line. Instead, he'll dump it off to Conahan. Jumbos might look to run through L'Esperance again. They've loved running that little 1-2 set with her at the X and Carden next to her all season. Margie Carden now. Gonna go work. Has Dean's screen, goes right around it, spin dodge, through 2, gets hacked. That's a free position. And I think that's gonna be a, no card. Referee holding something that appears to look like a flag from flag football. Margie Carden with a free position right hash. Number 27 bounces it in.
There it is. There's the Margie Carden we're used to seeing, Riley. Fierce attacking to goal, draws the penalty if needed, and finishes on that free position.
All right, now, before the Wesleyan game, the Jumbos had gotten into a running clock situation in the first half and half of their games. What are the odds you think, Catherine, the Jumbos do that again today?
Well, with 2 goals already in less than 5 minutes on the game, I think odds are likely. If they keep Jenna Gibbons on the draw, they'll win the possession most of the time and take it to goal, where they seem to be doing a good job of being able to finish these shots early in the game.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Switch here in the midfield. Gibbons still in the draw, surrounded by Elsa Shute and Skylar Lloyd. That one sent a million miles in the air. Gibbons gets a stick down, and coming away with it there is the freshman whose number I got wrong. That's Emily Leskin ahead to Skylar Lloyd. Cuts through 2, shoots, and scores. Easy as you like.
That was 2 freshmen connecting and finding the goal. I think they were the only 2 other than Jenna Gibbons on the draw that touched the ball in that play.
Yeah, that's a terrifying thought. The Jumbos scored in 5 seconds. Their attack women did not touch the ball.
And it was 2 freshmen, which shows what this team is going to look like going forward as well. They clearly have some strength.
Yeah, I mean, you want to hear a really terrifying thought.
Sure.
Of the players on the field right now, of their starting lineup today, the Jumbos only have 2 seniors on the field.
Wow. That is something not all teams can say, Riley.
No, it is not. That one spun around on the turf, and Bates comes away with it there. Nicely done there by Matt Roloffs. And a big possession here for the Bobcats. We'll see if they can slow it down. Look to get a good look. As Lacey Rivas, who we mentioned in the open, on it. Swings it to Grace Casson. And now around to the top, and Hannah Matthews. Casson and Rivas playing a little 2-woman game. Skip pass. Extra pass. Fernanda Pole out to challenge. Hard drive through 2 there from Emma Austin, but couldn't get any look. Losing an edge was Casson. Ball on the turf, but a check first called on Leskin.
You got to find that line with the aggressiveness on defense while still not being too aggressive that the refs call a foul.
Conahan with some good stick-to-body defense there. Madeline Donovan going to turn and run against Elsa Shute. Good split dodge. Draws the slide. Jumbo's able to collapse and get back defensively. A hard drive here. Gibbons not giving an inch. Pass inside. Fernanda Pole says, I don't think so. Here come the Jumbos. Bates caught all over the field. Jumbos have a 2-woman advantage coming up the midfield. Fernanda Pole might look to just take it herself. Will she go through 2? Dumps it back off to Zorn. And the Jumbos will reset in the attacking half. Conahan has a cutter, didn't see Margie Carden, instead dumps it off. Zorn coming in, all open. Elsa Shute will shoot it, and a save as Elsa Shute seems surprised to not get a shooting space call. Ball on the turf and corralled eventually in the midfield. Nicely there by Tris Balser. Bobcats will look to set up. Gravis. And Hannah Matthews now. Bobcats now going to turn and go. Casson against Leskin. Now Donovan draws the slide. Didn't find the open Casson. Taggart gets a step through 2, shoots, and scores. Caroline Taggart bounces one home, and the Bobcats get on the board.
Yeah, the Tufts Jumbos started playing out a little bit more aggressive, playing beyond the 8. And it cost them there. They left that space open, and Bates was able to find that and shoot and score.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that you probably don't want, in that you had a chance coming up offensively and obviously just couldn't take advantage. And when you have your foot on the gas, the last thing you want to do is give the other team a foothold. And the Bobcats have one to get themselves back in this game.
Yeah, with 8.5 minutes left in this first quarter, we'll see what the Bobcats can do with this momentum.
Same 2, same spot. Gibbons and O'Neill. Jumbos so far 3 for 4 from the draw circle. Referee making sure the ball is nice and nestled in there. And play resumes, and a violation. Which way is it going? It's against Bates.
Yeah, Coach Shute knew that one before even the refs did.
Yeah, she's gesticulating, very happy with Jenna Gibbons, who might turn and go. Carden not messing around, draws 3 defenders immediately. Did you see that? Bates almost has a defender in their zone just for Margie Carden. Zorn through 2, saved by Lehman.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did, Riley. Most teams have noticed the skill of Margie Carden.
Well, Bates especially, having been a victim to her 11 times in 2 years.
Yeah, they've learned their lesson, that's for sure.
That pass, wild on the turf. Dean and Joyce collapse on the ball but get called. And Jumbos are going to go woman down here. A green card shown to Emma Joyce. Courtney Shute wants a false start call. She's asking for a false start call from the referee, who is not even giving her the time of day.
Did not even look at her, that ref.
No, she did not. Jumbo's still going to bring a heavy ride here. Now we'll back off a little bit defensively. O'Neill will take it across the timeline. And the Bobcats with a chance here to draw it to 1, while Emma Joyce is in the penalty box. O'Neill. And call, might be a 3-second call. It's going to be a 12-meter, I believe.
No, it looks like she got a spot on the 8.
Interesting. Okay.
So
it'll be an 8-meter to Caroline Keating. Right to center. Shoots, saved by Powless, and a beauty.
The bench is loving it. This first year new and goal.
And Jumbos are running now. Look out. Delaney couldn't get the pass. Conahan able to save it. Carden jumps, catches, gets doubled, gets it back out. Conahan calling out a play, going to let things slow down. Jumbo's probably going to take about 5-10 seconds here. Let Emma Joyce get back in the play as she gets out of the penalty box. And they will. L'Esperance on the X. Conahan. Head up. Back to L'Esperance. Pick play inside, couldn't find Dean. On the turf, Dean scoops it. Gets hacked, ball still loose, and eventually recollected by Conahan. 30 on the shot clock. Joyce going hard. Gets a look. Gets a shot and a foot save somehow there by Lehman. Jumbo's asking for a fresh 60, not getting it. Cardin with 15. Skips it to Lesperance, who's wide open on the X. Might look to create something. Inside feed. Cardin doubled, gets hacked. Ball bouncing around. Lesperance with 4, with 3. Joyce gonna have to shoot it. Shoots on the frame, and eventually it's corrected by Lehman. And there's going to be some talk here from the referees as the Jumbos were denied a proper reset 2 different times on that possession.
The Jumbos know it, and they are frustrated over here on the sideline.
I mean, I would be too. There's no way Emma Joyce takes that shot if she has a fresh 60.
Absolutely not. Refs are discussing it now.
And now a third ref going to come involve herself in the conversation. Fresh 60, Jumbo possession. We'll see where they place the ball here. Bates coach Renee Dowd out of her coaching box all the way into the alley asking for an explanation. And now the referee is going to talk some more. Catherine, you know what time it is, right?
What time is it, Riley?
It's joke time. You got anything for me?
Riley, you always catch me off guard with this question. Catch me in the second quarter.
All right, I will. What did the referees just call? Because Courtney Shute is incensed. Courtney Shute looks like LeBron James after Jason Tatum fouled him in that Lakers-Celtics game a couple years ago. Gesticulating, yelling, very frustrated.
Yeah, telling the refs that she's wrong, and I kind of have to agree with Shute on this one.
Yeah, this wasn't a judgment call. This was a, letter of the law call.
Yeah, curious to see if the rules book gets pulled up.
I've only seen that once on Bello, and trust me, the referees don't like it.
I'm sure they don't, but sometimes...
Great stick work there by Joyce to knock the ball free. Bates in trouble, and Jumbo's called for a push. And Courtney Shute is going for a walk. And referee going to bring the play back. Another card? Oh, my Lord. I have no words.
I am speechless, too. That's Joyce's second in the first quarter. Probably in the span of less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, and the Jumbos, got to remember, 4 green cards get you locked in. You do not want to get yourself in that position. As Washington Elite found out a month ago. Skip pass on the turf, collected there by Paulus, who's getting harassed by the Bobcats and turns it over. Jumbo scrambling back defensively. Taggart to the top. Here's Lauren Wong, a sophomore from Walpole. Gonna try and outrun Jenna Gibbons. That's not gonna happen. Ravis against Fernanda Pole. Up top, O'Neal swings it across. Jumbo's doing a good job. Ravis shoots, scores. And just like that, despite all the Jumbo's dominance, this is a 1-goal game.
Yeah, starting with the call down there about the shot clock, then the green card in the midfield, then Bates doing an excellent job on offense, winning their ball back from the goalie and finding that open lane. The Tufts defense, although there were a lot of things that led up to it, they left that lane wide open for Ravis to shoot.
Catherine, you know the expression playing with house money? That's the vibe I'm getting from this Bates team.
Yeah, they've got really nothing to lose from this and only many things to gain. So 1-point lead with about 4.5 minutes left here. The energy is up on the Bates bench.
Same 2 for the 6th time in a row here. Kind of surprising. You were noting in the pregame we were talking how unusual it is that Jenna Gibbons never switches out on the draw. Bates hasn't switched out their draw woman either.
Many teams that play Tufts do switch out their draw women after Jenna Gibbons wins the majority of their draws. I'd say probably after about 7 draws.
Well, that was draw number 6. The Jumbos won. We'll see if Bates makes a change. Here comes Delaney streaming down Main Street. Skip pass. Zorn, shooting space.
Smart play there. She saw probably half a lane there to take the shot and decided to take the better path, pass the ball, and draw that foul.
Zorn with 7 free position goals on the year, brings it back out. Joyce to Cardin, 1v1. Wanted it back, did not get it. Now Zorn might look to go 1v1. L'Esperance off the X. Zorn going to cut in. Backs out. Dumps it off. L'Esperance on a beautiful backdoor cut.
That was really pretty, Riley. The Jumbos did not stop moving their feet on that one. Good work.
And that's a brilliant play because everyone and their mother expected Margie Cardin to go replace L'Esperance on the X. Instead, the Jumbos ran an entire offensive set with no one on the X. It fooled the Bates zone completely, and they lost track of L'Esperance.
Yeah, good job for L'Esperance. I have a feeling Margie Cardin, I don't know. If I were Margie Cardin, I'd be frustrated with the defense that Bates is putting on her, not letting her get the ball, not letting her even get a free hit to take a shot.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of interesting. They've played really good defense on her so far, but at the same time, Jumbos haven't been uncommon to use this strategy of almost avoiding using Margie Cardin until they need her, saving her more for the second half when the defense has started to figure out some of their other tricks.
Exactly right, Riley.
That one won on the bounce there by Maddie Ruffles, who pulls the ball back and allows the Bobcats to settle. That ball's on the turf, and a foul called on Jenna Gibbons.
Good hustle by Jenna Gibbons to get back there on time.
Great face dodge by O'Neal, cuts in hard, lost the ball. Fernanda Pole takes it, and a beautiful outlet pass. Can Zorn keep it in? No, she cannot. Turnover.
Feeling a little bit of panic almost from the Jumbos.
Good clear there from the Bobcats to Keating. O'Neal swung around the horn here. Jumbos just more than content to let Bates play possession offense on the perimeter. O'Neal going to take a jog. Dean with her step for step. Inside feed. And Joyce got across, tipped it away. Jenna Gibbons comes up with it. And here she goes. Gibbons has a step on Matthews. Jumbos have a one-woman advantage. Can they take advantage? Margie Cardin with space. Gets to her left. And that's going to be a free position. Cardin just left of center. 5-2.
Good work, Margie Cardin.
And that's how quickly the Jumbos can turn it on. Bates feeling a lot of momentum, having cut it from 3-0 to 3-2, and the Jumbos, in the span of a minute, get 2 quick ones. And just a beautiful finish that was for Margie Cardin.
Yeah, what, she's 2 for 2 on free positions this game right now, Riley?
Yeah, I mean, we said she was quiet, but we're 12 minutes into this game and she already has 2 goals.
Yeah. And that's quiet for her.
It is. 38 now on the season for the junior. Change here for the Bobcats. Can't see who's in the draw. It was Maddie Roloffs who sent it sky high on the turf, being kicked around, and Elsa Shute comes up with it. And nope, they're calling a push.
Interesting call by the refs. Not sure.
I don't think Courtney Schute's going to make friends with these referees tonight.
Absolutely not. She was friendly at the beginning, but with these calls, she does not seem super happy with them right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think by the letter of the law, that's probably a push. But if you're calling that, you're going to have to call a lot because this is NESCAC lacrosse.
Exactly right.
Here is Julia Roloffs. the sister of Maddie, getting her first action of the night. Matthews getting no luck trying to run against Elsa Shoot. Races against Nicholas Summers. Matthews now. Roll-offs with 40. And the Jumbos really have changed their offensive look. So much taller players defensively allows them to really hound these attack women.
Yeah, it makes it especially hard to get a cut or a pass.
And I think a crease violation there.
They're going to call another push, it looks like.
They're going to give that a free position? Wow.
Yes, they are.
Definitely was a push. I'm kind of shocked how that was not just given to them behind the net because it did not look like they were in front of the GLE. Ian Hard shooting wide. Will stay with the Bobcats, 14 to shoot. Jumbo's bench counting the clock down, and a Gilman there from the Bobcats. Final minute, first quarter. Jumbo's leading 5-2. We'll see what they can do with this possession as the shot clock is turned off. Jenna Gibbons going to look to solo clear it. Has a couple middies ahead of her. The referees just called offsides, but it was very clear. Nope, they called a green card. Bates was screaming for offsides, but it was actually offsides on them.
It looks like they're still... There it is.
Yeah, they're just having trouble figuring out numbers right now.
Yeah, Jumbo's creating a lot of confusion for the Bates Bobcats.
I mean, there isn't another team in D3 lacrosse that just runs the field like the Jumbos do.
Not at all. They are so fast
Last game.
Have the stamina.
Zorn, Lesperance scoops it on the X underhanded. Up top, Conahan. Carding coming down Main Street, spins, shoots, saved. Ball on the turf, now recollected by the Bobcats with 15. Jumbo's going to bring a heavy ride with no risk. Good outlet there by the Bobcats. We'll see if they just chuck it here. Ball on the turf, 3 seconds, 2. Zorn going to try and shoot it and will not. The clock turns out. Bates wants a card. And we'll see what they do here as everyone just stopped. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll give you the results of this conversation. Stay tuned. Welcome back here to Bello. Just got an explanation from the referees. The decision was Ali Zorn, even though the shot came after the clock expired, it was before the horn sounded, so there will not be any card. And we will restart with full rosters and a draw in the center circle. Catherine, what were your thoughts on that first quarter?
I'm honestly impressed by both teams here. Both teams seem to be hustling and getting to the ground balls that they can get to. Bates has been doing a good job when they get to offense, just passing the ball around, finding the open player. But Tufts has been doing a really good job. They're playing defense way out. They're playing at the 12, very aggressive defense. Interesting choice by Coach Shute to have them play that way.
Honestly, I like it. With a Bates team that's not a high-scoring team, averaging under 10 a game, and a Bates team that really, you get a feeling is going to have to score quickly, you can afford to be aggressive, especially when you have defenders as fast as Summers, Fernanda Pole, Nicola Donlin. Who am I missing? Jenna Gibbons.
Of course, yes. Yeah, they're doing a really good job.
When you have defenders who can run a 4.40, you can afford to do things like that.
Yeah, definitely know their strengths in using them.
Delaney with a clean draw control, and here come the Jumbos. Delaney around one. Head up, might have had a look there, instead slows it down. Jumbos will run it from the XD and coming down Main Street. Wasn't seen by L'Esperance. Here she is on the ball. Trying to get to Zorn. Good shut off there from the Bates zone. Swung to Margie Carden. Through two, shooting space.
Another shooting space for Margie Carden.
And actually, I got to correct myself because the referee decided it was not shooting space, it was a push in the back. But Margie Carden will look for her third free position goal to make it a hat trick here. And gets hacked. We'll do it again. And question is, is there going to be a card? Because referee pointing to contact to the head, but no card coming out.
Yeah, it looks like she was in her sphere, but they're not going to card her for that.
Shoots off the post.
You saw that frustration of the first goal there and that second shot there.
Great shot, just unlucky bounce there, and the Bobcats will now transition the other way. And that's going to be a turnover, and not something you can afford to do against the Jumbos. Joyce turns and goes. Bates a little bit out of position. Jumbos have a woman advantage right now if they can hurry. Didn't sense it, and they're going to slow it down. Carden. Now Delaney will come collect at the top. Bates sending two to follow the ball right now. L'Esperance head up. Delaney coming down, shoots, scores.
Easy money there for Delaney.
I'm going to say something. Bates needs to get out of the zone. Jumbos are tearing to shreds.
I agree with that, Riley. I think part of the reason they're in their zone is because they want to focus their energy on Margie Carden, but does not look like it's working because other players on the Jumbos team are just so strong. They pass the ball around, they cut, and they find that open hole that the Bates Bobcats are leaving.
Well, I think that might be the difference between this year's Jumbos versus last year's Jumbos. Last year's Jumbos, you could kind of afford to do that and just double Margie Carden and make someone else beat you because the Jumbos, for all their excellence in transition, were not great in a settled set last year. This year, L'Esperance, Zorn, Joyce, Delaney, Dean, they will all find the open woman, put the pass right in stride, and whoever's making a cut will put the ball in the back of the nylon. O'Neill and Gibbons going to go again for round number 9. Oh, referee impeded it, and Courtney Shute upset, and rightfully so, as Delaney was going to get to that ball before she ran into the referee. In the end, it'll be Bobcats' possession in the attacking third. Austin on the X. Jumbos in their usual woman-to-woman. It'll be Lauren Wong to try and run against Fernanda Pole. Ravis up top. O'Neill skipping it around Donovan. Austin now. Against Dean. To the top and O'Neill. She's going to try and run on Emma Joyce. Not really getting anywhere. Now it'll be Caroline Keating's turn to run. Once again shoved off. Great save there by Ravis. Gets a step. Shoots low, just wide. And what are they calling? They're going to call a violation of some sort. Or no, they're just going to say the Jumbos won the race to the line. Outlet here to Delaney. Has 2 inside. Finds 1 in Joyce. Jumbos have 5 on 4. Joyce coming hard. Dumps it off. Conahan inside. Cardin will score. That's your hat trick. And the Jumbos make it a 5-goal lead.
That is really pretty lacrosse, Riley. The quick passes, one after the other, not even needing a cradle in between, to the goal. Beautiful transition by the Jumbos.
But honestly, it is a beautiful transition. And if you're Bates, you got to be furious because it wasn't like you turned the ball over. That started from a shot that went wide and you didn't back up. And you just got out-hustled the entire way down the field.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And I think they even had players back. They were just following their marks who seemed, there were five Jumbos back and they just outnumbered them and outplayed them.
Like, you can do a lot of things and be competitive in the NESCAC. You cannot come to Bellow Field, get out-hustled, and stay in a game. It will not happen.
Right.
We saw it in the men's game Saturday. Jumbos came in, got completely out-hustled by the Wesleyan Cardinals, and lost that game.
Yes, and the Jumbos here on the women's team will not let that happen to them. They are not being out-hustled.
Great hops there by Grace Caston to go sky for that one over Gibbons. And then Bates turns it over again. And the Jumbo's going to look to start the clear. Fernanda Pole has a couple ahead of her. Might just go for a jog. Beautiful outlet pass. A little too far ahead of Skylar Lloyd, but Conahan's going to go save it. Good hustle from the junior. And the Jumbos, who have averaged 18 goals a game, starting to put the pedal down offensively here. Elsa Shoot with it. Has a screen from Leskin. Little screen and roll play. Gets the mismatch. L'Esperance comes off the X, cuts through 2. Doubled, dumps it off. Now it'll be Skylar Lloyd up top.
Looks like some sort of ISO play.
Great face dodge. Gets a look, gets a shot, and gets a goal. Bates complaining about something. Jumbos don't care. It's 8-2.
Yeah, you saw that little ISO play. She had the whole right side to herself. Took that shot even though she was a little bit outside, but because of all that space, nailed it.
Brilliant, brilliant play design. That is what you like to call just a textbook execution. Everyone on the field, including myself, thought the Jumbos were going to run something with the stack to the left. Instead, they put faith in their freshman, give Skylar Lloyd the 1v1, and she makes the Bobcats pay.
Yeah, very talented.
And it is 8-2 here. Jumbos on a 5-0 run, spanning the quarter break. Bates shouting woman from the bench. I wonder if that means they're finally changing the defense.
Well, they changed up the draw taker.
Didn't help. Here comes Lloyd again, looking for her hat trick. Cardin backs out. Skip pass to Zorn. To the X. L'Esperance coming around, shoots, scores. Wow, that was open.
That was wide open. She barely even had to look at the goal, though. She knew exactly where she was placing that. Took a sidearm shot and finished beautifully.
And that's just the beautiful of that three-headed monster we've talked about all season. Cardin draws 2. Skip pass right to Zorn. Zorn, no hesitation, knew the open woman was L'Esperance. Fed it to her on a platter, and L'Esperance, no mistake, puts it away. That is goal number 25 on the year for Ella L'Esperance. Number 9 on the night for the Jumbos. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll see if Bates has any answers. Stay tuned. Welcome back to a sunny afternoon here on Bello. Catherine, it's strange to say those words.
Yeah, it feels a little weird, and honestly, Riley, I cannot see the sun right now, but the fact that it is not raining makes it sunny.
That's nice. I'll tell you what's really, really nice.
What's nice?
The 57 degrees out here at 6:30 at night.
Yeah, looking forward to more of this as the season progresses.
Yeah, I mean, I remember there was, one game last year where the SUNY-Cortland game where the Jumbos did something a lot like this, just put a massacre on the other team, where it was like 90 degrees at opening draw. Bello, there's no such thing, or there's very little kind of perfect weather days. They're either really cold or really hot, not much in between. Jumbo's offense really hot right now, having scored 6 goals in the last 5 minutes of gameplay. Good draw there for the Bobcats. Jumbos took a spill to Emily Leskin. Referee blew a whistle. He'll stay with the Bobcats. Jumbos making a little bit of defensive changes here and in the midfield as well. Kate Wejack in the game for the first time, as well as Caroline Cromwell. That's another Bobcats turnover. Here comes the other Caroline. It's Conahan. She's going to turn and run. We'll see if the Bobcats pick her up or not. In hard. And a whistle.
Drew the free position there.
I'll tell you what, I did not hear that whistle.
I heard it. I think that was a smart play by her. She had 3 defenders on her. She took that fake shot, drew the call, and now gets a free position. We'll see if she finishes on this one.
Conahan looking for her 8th of the year. And she'll get it. And I mean, I feel like it's been forever since I've mentioned the name of Avery Lemon, and I think that's because the Jumbos have put the last 6 shots on net in the back of the net.
That sounds about right, Riley. They are not messing around here. They are, almost feels like they're fine-tuning their skills. That free position was one we haven't seen much of. Taking it all the way across the goal and taking the shot.
No matter what changes here for the Jumbos, the only thing that has remained constant so far today has been Jenna Gibbons, who has not left the draw circle. Back out there for her 15th of the day. Has won 10 so far. And you got to wonder at this rate, will we even see the starting lineup at any point in the second half? As another draw win by Gibbons right into the cradle of Emma Joyce. She's flying, runs through a defender, doesn't care. Gets it right back from Conahan. Skip to L'Esperance on the X. Zorn wants an ISO, has Dean's screen if she wants it. Mismatch now. Zorn against O'Neill. Little shake and bake. Inside feed, too high for Dean. Missed her there as the Jumbos would have been in. But it doesn't matter. Oh! Jumbos wanted that not called. Instead, it's a infraction. Allow the Bobcats to turn and run the other way. Keating's pass hits the turf. This time saved as the Bobcats avoid their 5th unforced turnover of the quarter. Emma Austin with a step. Good slide from Summers. And the Jumbos back it out. It'll be Sadie O'Neill here. Now on the X. That's Ravis. Tries to go around. Jumbos do a good job there. Not allowing her to go crease side. Somehow scoops it up inside the 8-meter arc. And gets through about 6 Jumbos. Defense all over the place, but the Bobcats unable to take advantage.
Yeah, Ravis didn't really have a lot of help from her team on that play. She was solo in the 8.
Solo, and her team was standing arms by their side, sticks down up here outside the 12-meter.
Yeah, there she goes again. Hustle play, drop the ball.
Bobcats falling down, sticks falling down. It'll stay with the Bobcats, but they got to hurry. They got 15 to shoot now. Keating with 10. Pass went nowhere. That's a turnover. Was looking for a cutter. Problem was there wasn't one. And Nicola Summers going to go just for an absolute sprint. Bobcats all caught out. Summers, Gibbons. And the Jumbo's going to slow things up, make some substitutions as the freshman trio in the midfield coming in. It'll be Lloyd, Leskin, and the other freshman in Sophia Claps. Leskin to the X and Margie Carden. Inside feed, shot, score! That did not even land in the stick of Ella L'Esperance.
Yeah, the Bates defense looked like they have switched to a man after that timeout. And it looked like there was some confusion on that switch up. There was a girl without a defender, and the defender seemed to be lost. And that created the space and allowed for that shot to happen.
Jumbos with a casual 11 in 22 minutes, you know, usual day on Bello.
Yeah, one more for that 10-point lead.
Yeah, one more would send it to a running clock. As a reminder, it was a 3-2 game with 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Since then, in the subsequent 10 minutes, it's been 8-0 Jumbos.
Maddie Rolis has been hustling over here on defense, coming to get a stick on the draw, back on offense. She's been everywhere on the field for the Bobcats today.
In the contrast, Jenna Gibbons knows exactly where she's supposed to be, in her same spot, taking her 16th draw of the day, which she wins to herself. Outlet perfectly into the stride of Lloyd. Zorn with all sorts of space, going to go in, shoot, and score, and the clock will run with 7:20 to go in the second quarter.
All starts in the draw, Riley. That's what I always say.
You do say it, and I mean, I don't think we've seen a better microcosm of that than today, where every single time as a yellow card being shown to someone on the Bobcats, it'll be Trish Balser, and you want to make bad go worse. A 2-minute releasable to Trish Balser for a cross check, which means the Jumbos won't even have to win this draw. They'll just start with the ball.
I did not even see that happen down there.
I believe it was after the goal, so I believe a dead ball foul. On the bright side for Bates, that will be one of the few things that will stop the clock at least.
There you go.
Bates going to bring a 2-woman ride right on Gibbons.
Catherine Fernandez-Napule is wide open on the right.
Yeah, and Donlin's open on the left. Instead, they go middle. Leskin will take it across, and the Jumbos will set up with the woman up unit. Kate Mastrobuono on the field for her first action of the day. Looking for her 10th goal of the year is the big midfielder, number 36. Leskin, inside, Carden, spins, gets doubled, and that's going to be, I believe, a free position for a hold, which will give Margie Carden a chance for her 4th of the day.
Yeah, they are just attacking her on defense, not letting her get very much except for these free positions, which she's been doing a very good job of scoring on.
Carden, skip pass, Mastrobuono shoots and scores. She took a hit, scored anyway, and the Jumbos are partying here on Bello.
As they should be. They've worked hard, and she was just able to drop that defender while having other defenders around her, finishing on that shot. I wonder what's going through number 32, the goalie, Avery Lehman's head right now.
I mean, she's looking over at her bench, asking, I think, for a substitution right now. And honestly, kind of can't blame her because giving up 10 goals in the span of a quarter is kind of demoralizing.
It is, but she's been doing what she can. Her defense has been struggling a little bit with the switch between zone and man, and just playing against a great Tufts offense. There's not much more you can do.
On the other side, Sophie Palace looks very bored, having not seen a shot in this second quarter. That one spun the other way. Bates midfielder took a dive. Leskin comes away with the ball. Gonna pick her head up, finds an open Nicola Donlin. She's gonna lead the counter. Zorn. Back to Donlin, coming hard, shoots, and gets wrapped up by the goalie there. Nice save. And then turned over. Zorn in on net. Shoots, scores.
Whoa.
And just when there was the slightest bit of hope for Avery Lehman, she gives the Jumbos a freebie.
What an interception. That was beautiful. Almost like one-handed. Snatched the ball. Coming back to her defense. Before going to retrieve her stick.
Just phenomenal from the Jumbos. As I have to do more and more stat diving here. I believe, if I'm correct, that is a third on the day for Allie Zorn.
Yeah, while you're stat checking, the Jumbos bench just had a good celebration. They all sat down and pretend like they were rowing a boat.
Nope, only a second on the day for Zorn. So only 8 goals from the attacking trio in the first 26 minutes today. That's Zorn's 28th, on the year. Jumbo's 14th now on the day. As I'm struggling to keep count. They're scoring so fast. Another draw win. Jenna Gibbons showing why she should be an All-NASCAC player, but then turned over in the midfield. Jumbo's a little bit of substitution problems. Could be caught out here. Julia Rollis across. And the Bobcats going to slow things down. Look to have something that resembles an offensive possession in this quarter. Rolifs against Fernanda Pole. Who is just not letting her do anything. Now to be switched to Grace Casson. Far side Donovan. Jumbos with a perfect woman-to-woman switch. That ball's on the turf. Might not be for long. Weejack fighting for it, and that's a cross-check.
Yeah, gotta be careful there.
Love the hustle, but can't do that. Lauren Wong on the X. Has a mismatch with the midi, the freshman Leskin on her. Matthews against Summers. Skipped here to Ravis. Working against Weejack with 20 on the shot clock. Dumps back up top. Jumbos collapse inside, skip pass. Rolifs trying to get a look, gets one off the top of the cage. Looked like it might have been a crease violation, and in the end, the Bobcats come away with it. Fernanda Pole did not know where that ball was. Ravis, as we dip under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Hard drive, spinning back and putting it just wide there was Wong. It'll stay with the Bobcats, 34. This is the best offensive possession they've had of the half. Casson skips it all the way to the near side with Caroline Taggart. Against the All-American Fernanda Pole. Now it'll come to the far side and Donovan, 10 on the shot clock. Donovan stops, cuts to her left, shot wide, will stay with the Bobcats with 5. Will they get a shot? Shot just haphazardly sent, and it'll be collected by Sophie Paulus like she's playing catch in the backyard. Fernanda Pole to Carton, who comes all the way back in the midfield. Bates all over the place here. Donlin coming down Main Street, skips it. L'Esperance low to high, and the Jumbos put an exclamation point on a dominant first half.
That shot seems to be L'Esperance's favorite shot, the low to high shot. She fakes it down low and shoots it up high. L'Esperance
is 27th on the year. The Jumbos 15th of the half. And I can't imagine we will see a draw in the next 30 seconds. So the referees look like they're going to try. Don't imagine either team's in a particular interest to get one going. Jumbo's probably more than content with their 13-goal lead, and the Bobcats probably thinking about anything other than the long drive back up to Lewiston tonight. They will try and get a draw, but they will not get it off as we run out of time on the first half. It started off 3-2, then the Jumbos woke up. A 12-0 run across the quarters to close the half, and we go to the halftime break, 15-2 Jumbos. Catherine, if you could describe this first half in a word, what would it be?
Pretty shots. I know it's 2 words, but I've seen some really, really pretty shots off the Jumbos offense. Lots of creativity is being taken with this 13 lead right now.
I did say 1 word, but that was such a perfect description. I'll allow it. When we come back, we'll give you the second half from Bello. Running clock, running dominance from the Jumbos. Welcome back here to Bello. I'm joined alongside me for the second half by Zachary Miller. Zach, pleasure to have you. Looking out at these rosters here, kind of surprised.
Yeah, I mean, let's first start off by stating a fact. This game isn't close at all. Started off 3-2 and then scored basically 13 unanswered. And if you don't think this game is close, then you might have stared directly into the solar eclipse, because I don't know what you're seeing. But I find it a little confusing they're leaving the starters in with Mercy Rule timing. I think maybe they might be putting in some of the other girls in the fourth, but right now I think it's a little bit surprising. But I'm going to go ahead and side with the coach here and say that she's doing what's best, and we'll see what happens.
I mean, I wonder how much of it is just mental, in that this was a unit that really had the game at Wesleyan won until they just stopped scoring in the second half in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, during that game, there were actually a few players afterwards that spoke to the student newspaper, and they said that they really needed to, that game kind of served as a wake-up call. They needed to work on stuff. They needed to improve the energy. They needed to work on taking advantage of their opponent's mistakes while reducing their own. And I think this is also going to be a good opportunity for all of them to kind of improve that cohesion, reduce those mistakes.
Joyce shoots just wide.
And be able to, get that confidence back up.
Somehow Conahan came up with that ball despite 4 defenders around her. And I mean, I guess another thing the Jumbos probably aren't thinking about, but it's definitely in the back of my mind, is we are definitely on record watch here at JumboCast as Margie Carton comes around a pick. Jumbo's record for goals in a NESCAC game is 21. Record for goals in a single game at large is 26.
I could definitely see that.
Delaney, blocked over the top, will stay with the Jumbos.
I can definitely see this team getting close. They are on fire today. They are just so good with the tempo today. They're shooting well. They're taking advantage of their opponent's mistakes. I could see this potentially. I could definitely see us being on record watch today, for sure, Riley.
15 to shoot. Joyce stops and goes. Skip to Margie Carton, coming down Main Street, and she puts it away.
Just an incredible play there by Carden and the rest of the Bows. Getting her open, wide open shot on the left end of the net. You're scoring that every day if you're her.
Yeah, absolutely. That is goal number 40 on Margie Carton's season, which, for those of you who've been keeping a track alongside us, puts her 15 away from the all-time program record.
That's just incredible. That just shows how good she is this year and how good this Bows team is surrounding her.
I mean, the crazy thing is she's already broken her career high for assists this year with 19, or I guess now 21, as she had 2 in that first half as well. So she theoretically could break the 100-point threshold this year.
That is actually insane to me.
It really is. That's something you very rarely see in women's lacrosse.
But going back to that earlier point of that question of why are you bringing the starters in, you have to also consider the game this weekend. They are playing number 1 Middlebury College. You need to get these girls reps. You need to make sure that everything is smoothed out before that this important senior day game here at Bello.
Yeah,
and
only the most hyped game in, 5 years?
Yeah, that one also will be on JumboCast. So make sure that you guys tune in this weekend, because that will for sure be an amazing watch.
Yeah, me and Catherine will be right back here Saturday at noon for what will be the game of the year, Jumbos and Panthers. When I talked to Margie Carton and Jenna Gibbons in the offseason, that was the very first thing they mentioned. That game against Middlebury. It's been on their calendars for 6 months, and on Saturday they will get a chance to show what they're worth. Shot just wide there from the Bobcats.
Yeah, that's basically, for both of those teams, going to be kind of the litmus test for both of them. Like, that's two of the best programs in this country, and you're playing a conference play right here on Bello. That's going to definitely be, most likely the final exam for these Bows.
Yeah.
So,
and with every other team in the NESCAC having already at least 2 losses, whoever wins that matchup as a goal inside there, put away by Caroline Keating, finally breaks the Jumbos 13-0 run. That game will serve as a basically free pass to the inside track to the number 1 seed in the NESCAC tournament. Whoever wins it will have it in their control to get the number 1 seed. Whoever loses will have a much more difficult path to getting the number 1 seed, and if the Jumbos were to lose that game, it would drop them below Wesleyan as well in the standings.
Exactly. Like, it's so important for both of those teams to come out here and play good lacrosse this weekend. So it definitely is not a bad idea to keep the starters in, get them reps, get the cohesion going back together, regroup after Wesleyan, which already was a tough test. Was kind of, as I said earlier, a wake-up call to this team that, hey, we need to make sure we get all this fixed before we play Middlebury this weekend. So, but I've been very impressed with the Bows today. They've been incredible. Yeah,
one who's really impressed me is Skylar Lloyd, who ran through half the Bates midfield, not once but twice, still going, and eventually backs out without the ball, but wins it right back with a clean stick check. Inside feed. Zorn catches. Going to try and take it to the X. Ball on the turf. And the Jumbos reset. Cardin wants it, not getting it. Spin dodge, L'Esperance gets inside position, inside feed, Zorn scores.
This offense is just insane today. You're watching all this passing, you're getting women open, and you're making those opportunities like they're easy. Like, I've never seen a lacrosse team this coherent as much as the Tufts Jumbos team is today.
That is the 11th goal from the Jumbos for attack women, 10 from the three-headed monster of Zorn, L'Esperance, and Cardin, who have single-handedly more than tripled up the Bobcats today.
I'd say quadruple, quintuple. But
yeah.
This is a showing. Like, you're coming out of this from Wesleyan, like we were talking about earlier, and you're putting up now a 14-point lead up on Bates, who they have All-Americans on their team. They're a pretty solid team. You're putting up 17 on them in nearly 2.5 quarters.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And, I mean, I think it starts from the draw where the Jumbos just continue to dominate as they're making some substitutions. Mastrobuono and Conahan checking in. Here is Conahan. Dumps it up to Mastrobuono. Cardin wants it, doesn't get it. Spun to Leskin. Jumbo's going to run a set play from the X. Inside. Still on the turf, and eventually Kate Mastrobuono will pick it back up. Jumbos love this lasso play here. L'Esperance to Conahan. Had an open cut from Leskin, didn't see it. Missed Cardin. Instead, they'll find Zorn, who doesn't score this time. Good save there by Lan. L'Esperance drops her defender, picks a pass, and score. That's the hat trick for Skylar Lloyd, and the Jumbos continue to just pound the throttle.
And a much-deserved one for her. She's been absolutely on fire today. As you said earlier, she's had 2 impactful goals today. She's been tearing through this Bates defense.
And that'll be a timeout for the Bobcats with 6:59 on the clock. I mean,
you got to regroup after that.
You got to regroup, but I don't know what you say, because you can't point to anything the Bobcats are doing. Like, they're tactically, yeah, they've had a couple turnovers in that second quarter, but really, there's been 2 problems for the Bobcats.
Mm-hmm.
They've been losing the draws, which you can talk a little bit about that, but in the end, if the other team has a better draw control unit than you, you're going to lose a lot of draws.
Exactly.
And it's the Jumbos just putting perfect offense together time and time and time again. Like, it's not a lack of effort from this Bates team. It's not a lack of, like, execution. It's just the Jumbos said, all right, we did not play at our level in that Wesleyan game. Multiple Jumbos I talked to in between that game said, we just weren't playing our best. If we play like that, we will not win games. Today, they're showing their best.
Exactly. I totally agree. And, I mean, if you're Bates, I think, yeah, talking about the draw control is important, because I've noticed today when Tufts wins the draws, they keep the ball. They haven't been turning it over a lot today. I've counted maybe only like 3 turnovers in total today.
I'll check for you. I can tell you the exact
I don't
number.
have the live stats on me.
You're close. It was 4.
Okay.
4 total turnovers, 12 for the Bobcats, so that's a big difference.
Exactly. That's something you need to limit if you're Bates. If you get the ball, at this rate, you're down 15. You need to just control the ball. You need to make plays. You need to also, Tufts is still turning over the ball. Take advantage of them. You can't just get a turnover and then not turn anything out of it and then just turn it over again. I noticed that once or twice that already happened today.
Yeah, I mean, and I think another stat that just to keep looking at as the Jumbos, I mean, I'm looking right now, and Bates right now, so far today, there have been 24 draws. Bates has won 6. That means the Jumbos have won 75% of the draws. I don't care if you have Jack Boyden, Margie Carden, and Paul Rabel, the former PLL MVP, as your attack unit. You get 25% of the draws in a game, you're not going to win.
Exactly. And that's probably going to be another Bows draw win right here.
Still fighting for it. Still
Long
going.
fight.
No one giving up on it. And what's the call? I think it's going to be an infraction on the Jumbos, allowing Bates to finally get their 7th draw control of the day. But just a phenomenal job from this Jumbos draw unit. And I would not be surprised, for those of you watching at home, if we talk to a member of the Jumbos draw unit in the post-game interview.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I mean, this has just been a domination in all sorts of vocabulary. Like, you could use 14 synonyms to describe that today.
Well, Millie, did you do your homework when I asked you at halftime to come up with synonyms for domination?
Well, I could come up with some on the microphone right now, but...
Nice save there by Sophie Palace. Turning and running the other way for the Jumbos is Caroline Sapir, the senior. As the Jumbos made a hockey-style line change at that timeout there. Basically an entirely new unit. Not her, though. Nicholas Summers still on the field, still running, still sprinting across the transition line. And it'll go to the X and Amaracino. And that's what's so dangerous about this Jumbos team is these players who did not see the field for the first 40 minutes of this game, these were players who were in the rotation getting big minutes a year ago.
Exactly.
Delaney around the screen. Has Ferrix, instead goes up top. Sapir drives 2, and that's going to be a foul, and it will be a card as well. It's going to be yellow, shown to Madeline Donovan.
Yeah, for our viewers that don't usually watch the women's lacrosse games, are usually more tuned into the men's lacrosse, they're way more strict with contact. That type of high sticking is very much a no-no, and that's why you're going to be seeing her in the box here in just a minute.
It's a 2-minute, I believe, releasable penalty. Did not see anything suggesting it wasn't. We'll see if the Jumbos look to attack immediately or if they slow things down, get into a settled set here. And kind of interesting, Jumbos have made almost an entire line change, but Delaney and Joyce still on the field.
That is definitely very interesting. I mean, you could go back and say...
And here is Delaney, just saved, but it's put back in. I believe that one belongs to Lucy Hodge. Well, I guess that answers my question. The Jumbos weren't waiting around. They score again. That's 19. And the first on the day for Lucy Hodge.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say there, that probably was going to be Delaney's goal, but that was a great offensive rebound and a great way to continue that play and what should have, in most worlds, been a save. But great awareness by the Jumbos team.
It was a point-blank save by Abigail Zeal, who has come in net for the Bobcats. Credit to her. That's a ridiculous save. Not something she really should be expected to make. But you got to wonder, where is her defense?
Exactly.
I'm sorry. In no circumstances should a midfielder be able to pick up the ball on the edge of the crease and put it in the back of the net.
You're exactly right there, Riley. I mean, it's kind of like the Colorado Avalanche this year. You can't just expect your goalie to do everything. You got to have a solid defense.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't like JV high school lacrosse. This is the NESCAC. If you give open opportunities to the other team, they're going to take advantage. As Bates wasn't secure in controlling that draw, Delaney came up with it. Here she goes. Just missed. finding Hodge as the Jumbos were half an inch from getting 2 goals for Lucy Hodge in the span of 30 seconds.
Yeah, that goes exactly back to what we were talking about earlier. When Bates does win those draws, they can't control it. They lose possession. And that just happened again.
Yeah, they have struggled with possession. That was turnover number 13 on the day for the Bobcats. And, I mean, generally as a rule of thumb, when you come to Bello, you probably need to be winning the turnover battle. You can't be losing it by 8, as coming in hard and scoring there is Caroline Keating, her second of the day.
Yeah, really not much you could do there. She was left wide open, and that was pretty much just a one-on-one goal, and they ended up converting it. That cuts the lead to 15.
Yeah, cuts it to 15, you know. Great finish from the Bobcats. And the Bobcats, I'll give them credit, they're playing hard. They're not giving up. It's very easy when you're playing. I mean, we've seen time and time teams this year against the Jumbos, like, stay in games for a while, and then once the Jumbos bring that big run, just roll over and die. The Bobcats have fought back. It's been a 2-2 game since the Jumbos stretched it to 17-2.
Exactly. Like, it's easy to give up and just say, I'm already down 15. I don't want to try anymore. It's pointless to try to keep going because I could get injured, that type of thing. But it's commendable that you're even, like, still putting up goals and still trying to fight and still trying to run plays and everything along that line. That's honestly great coaching. I'll give Bates credit there.
And Bates is a team that if they were in another conference, maybe a Little East or a Patriot League, they could be contending for a conference title, contending for an NCAA berth. They just, unfortunately, live in a conference where you can be a top 25 team and not make the conference tournament.
Exactly.
On the sideline here, Pascal DeBuren warming up. Would not be surprised if she gets the 4th just to keep her fresh prior to the Middlebury game.
I was just about to mention that. I saw her warming up on the side and was like, is there going to be a goalie change pretty soon? And I'm pretty sure the answer to that is going to be yes. We will be seeing a different Jumbo in net.
Amaracino and Mastrobano running a pick play. They give the ball to Lucy Hodge, GLE. Has the mismatch she wants. She's going to turn and run. Puts her head down, gets a look, gets a shot, gets a goal.
There's really nothing more that I can say that commends the Jumbos other than what I've already said. They just have been pounding goals. They've been dominating. They've been winning. They've been tremendous. I'm trying to come up with more synonyms. I might need a thesaurus here in a minute. The more they keep scoring, the more, and we've hit the 20 mark already. And like as we said, we're getting closer and closer to record watch here. I don't think the Jumbos are going to be very mindful about that because I imagine in the 4th quarter, at this rate, you're leading by 16. You're going to put in some freshman sophomores, get them some reps before Middlebury. But I imagine that this is just a message that the team needs to send to themselves. We are able to put up these types of numbers. We're able to make these types of plays, and we can recoup and put up amazing numbers against these teams and get prepared for games like Middlebury.
Well, they have definitely shown the rest of the NESCAC to look out. We'll take a short break. When we come back, the 4th quarter of what can only be described as the second coming of the Boston Massacre. Stay tuned.
And we are back here on Bello Field as we have seen a change in net. We now have Pascal de Buren here in net on the right side of Bello, replacing Sophie Pallas. She's been the starter basically for every single game before this today, and she will be the starter for Middlebury. She has .44 save percentage, 10-1 record as the goalie for the Bows, and she will get some reps and experience before this Middlebury game, which is so important to this Bows team, Riley.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of liken the appearance of Pascal de Buren in this game to like giving your relief pitcher an inning in a blowout if they haven't pitched in a week, because you want to keep them fresh. You need de Buren ready to go. Struggled a little bit in that Wesleyan game as the Jumbo is going to set up again offensively. The next goal would tie their program record for NESCAC goals. And, I mean, we're seeing some more new faces. Going to have to look at my program here. Grace Hammond in now as Amarcino comes around to pick hard.
Yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot of new faces in here as everyone is just going to get fresh. Whether it's freshmen getting some reps or the seniors or grad students getting some time here before this weekend, you're going to be seeing a lot of new numbers out here in this fourth quarter.
Hammond draws two, skip pass. Worked around. Inside feed. Mastrobuono shovel shot saved. It's on the ground. Can't tell you where it is. And eventually the Bobcats come away with it in the hands of their goalie, Abigail Zeal. Jumbo's not content, though. They are still going to bring an aggressive ride. Zeal just cradling the ball. Problem is she cannot find an open person to pass the ball to. Jumbo's ride doing a great job. And she has just held the ball here for 25 seconds now. This is the textbook definition of full court defense. And a turnover. Picked up by Kate Wijak. Can the senior defender look to score? Wijak going through two. Gets a look. Gets a goal. And you can tell how much that means.
Our JumboCast member herself, Kate Wijak, getting a goal here and tying the Tufts program record with 21 goals against this Bates team. Absolutely incredible. The entire sideline, the entire team is in celebration right now. A great goal.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go do some more record books checking. I don't know how many goals in her career Kate Wijak has scored. And I have an answer for you. That is her first career goal.
Wow! We have witnessed history here on JumboCast today. The grad student getting her first. And it was unassisted as well. That is an incredible goal. Taking advantage of that turnover and getting it straight in.
And some question from the referee on the clock management.
They're trying to add 10 seconds on this game clock, so we're going to go up to 12:35 instead of 12:25.
Yeah, looks like they wanted to give back rightfully the 10 seconds that were spent saving that ball as a souvenir for Wijak for her first collegiate goal.
Rightfully so. She should have that ball on a shelf encased.
It's very rare for defenders to score, even rarer for grad student defenders to get their first ever career goal unassisted. But when you can do it to tie a program record, that just makes it extra special.
Exactly. I'm glad we could both be on the call for that. That is just a history.
No one knows where the ball is right now, as it was knocked free. Very well done by Sofia Antazana. She didn't realize she had knocked the ball free. Summers did and came up with it.
Yeah, there was just a lot of confusion over on that end of the field. But the Jumbos regroup, regain, and are now working their way up the field.
Grace Frerich's going to take it across. Bounces a pass that is scooped up by Antazana. To Hodge on the X. Skip to Leskin. Up top, Kate Dean. Getting some work here. One of the few Jumbo starters not to score. Misplayed there by Hodge. That's a turnover.
It's also great to see some of our own members helping to break Tufts Jumbo's history too. Kate's been a member of JumboCast for a few years now. She's done some great work with us. Super happy for her to be able to get that record for the Bows and also get her first career goal out here in Bello.
Yeah, I have a feeling that as good as they have been the draw control unit, that they will not be our post-game interview tonight.
I 100% agree.
Hard drive and a shot there, saved on a good look there from Ravis, but I believe they're going to call a free position first. Something being called. Unclear what the call actually is. I believe they're going to call a offsides with the call.
Yeah, I was a little confused what that call was too, but offsides is the call. Looks like.
And it was a great call.
Yeah.
Like, very clearly, Jumbo's had 7 the wrong side. And now the referee's going to talk about some clock issues, I think. And a green card being shown to Grace Hammond, I believe.
I think they just forgot to show the card.
That they're giving it to someone. I can't tell who's serving the penalty. They're asking Kate Wejack to someone to come, and it will be Grace Hammond to serve the penalty.
Yeah, there's just a lot of confusion. They didn't know who or what that card was shown to. They just showed it and then put it quickly away, so they had to talk about it a little bit to find out who the culprit was.
Yeah, I mean, green card's something everyone's still adjusting to, a new NCAA rule this year. Good rule is a shot off the post and bounces away. Still on the turf. 4 Bobcats fight each other for it, but eventually they realize they're all on the same team.
You know, the rule change is confusing when you see it on Titler Live for the first time and don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think it's it's confusing when the referees have to come over and say, oh yeah, we forgot to do this.
Exactly.
Hard drive there by Ravis. Up top. Bates bench calling for some ball movement. Jumbo's doing a good job defensively. 25 left on the penalty, 50 on the shot clock. Pass inside, picked off, and the Jumbos might look to run. Leskin getting doubled and smartly dodges it back. Outlet pass to Wejack. Bates a little bit caught out here. Jumbos could look to transition. Dean will just slow things down as the Jumbos back to full strength. On to Dezana, to Hammond. Just missed her. Great cut. Great idea. Hammond just jumping up and down in the center of the arc, wanting the ball. Instead, he gets skipped to the far side. Leskin with the dodge. And a great stick check defensively there by Julia Roloff. Gonna have to run against Sapir now. In a bit of trouble. Marcino now gonna bring the ride. And a good dodge there by the Bobcats. Outlet pass just missed the stick of Grace Frericks. As this Jumbo's senior class bringing an intense ride. But the Bobcats able to clear and look to go. Skip past to space. And shooting space is called for Hannah Matthews.
Bates starting to show a little bit of life here, even though they're down about 18 or 17 right now. But I have to give them credit like I did earlier. They're still playing hard like if they were down by only 1 or 2.
Save by DeBaron. And she's going to look to start the counter. On to Zana. Drops the shoulder, turns and runs. And Bobcats struggling to get back defensively. Hodge. Up top, space. Hammond will turn and run. Around 1, around 2. Whistle blows. That's going to be a free position. And Grace Hammond, the freshman, will have a chance to break the program record for NESCAC goals in a game. For the record, saved. And then that's probably, it's just going to be an infraction. Jumbos have to be careful here. As aggressive as they want to be, you make contact above the shoulders, you're going to get yourself carded. As Courtney Shute now yelling no foul. And now there is going to be a card. It's going to be a green one to Grace Frericks for the exact sort of thing we were talking about.
Exactly. You can't be making that type of contact. But going back earlier to that free position, they were basically nearly perfect on those free position plays until that save. that was basically, I mean, that was a great save by the Bates goalie. You can't really do anything else about that. It was well planned, but, I mean, just a learning experience for next time, like we've been saying all day.
Yeah, I think if your biggest critique, your biggest problem from the game is your freshman attack woman who got subbed in at halftime as the Jumbo's defense fell asleep for a second, can't finish a free position because it gets denied with a kick save, you're probably okay with that.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And there's another turnover, just like we've been talking about earlier, as it falls out of her stick.
Meg Hatton going to run the other way for the Jumbos. And that's going to be, I believe, a card. As, yep, the Jumbo's bench screaming that it should have been a green card. No card shown. Jumbo's back to full strength, or they will be in 15 seconds. And timeout called, I believe, by the Jumbo's bench. Everyone seems in shock, but a timeout was called by the Jumbo's bench. Jumbo's players asking what's going on.
I think there was just a lot of confusion about what to do there. I mean, you didn't get the card you wanted, and then there was a lot of just general confusion, not a lot of really, what do we do kind of stuff going on in everyone's minds right now.
Well, I guess we can use this time to tell our viewers what they should do, and that is stay with JumboCast all weekend. We got a busy one for you. Friday afternoon at 3, we'll be live from Saul Gittleman as the Jumbos start their series against Colby. Saturday, oh boy, is it going to be a beauty. We got 3 games starting here at noon on Bello. Number 1 versus number 4, Middlebury comes to town. Also on Saturday, the doubleheader from Gittleman, Colby and the Jumbos in a game that likely could decide the NESCAC East. And then to cap it off, a softball doubleheader on Sunday before you go enjoy your Marathon Monday.
That's going to be an incredible lead up to Marathon Monday. Make sure you spend those 2 days leading up to us before Marathon Monday with us here on JumboCast as we have some incredible women's lacrosse, a great baseball doubleheader, and some awesome softball action right here on our YouTube channel. Also, we might be having some visitors from some special alumni over the weekend, so definitely make sure you stay tuned over the weekend.
It's going to be a great one, obviously.
Little sneak peek to our, I don't know how many viewers we have, but sneak peek is we might be having, maybe, not fully confirmed yet, we may have a visit from the one and only Henry Stahl over the weekend.
We might. That would be very impressive. Obviously, some more fun things in this season, including final week of the NESCAC season is, it's hard to fathom, but there are only, after this weekend, 10 days left in the NESCAC regular season.
Exactly. Then we get into playoffs, which will be a lot of fun for all of us.
Jumbos, assuming they don't find a unfathomable way to blow a 17-point lead in the remaining 6:20, have clinched a spot in the NESCAC tournament, and they can, with a win over Middlebury at the weekend, clinch a home game in the NESCAC tournament.
Exactly, and if they clinch a win in the NESCAC tournament, that means you'll be seeing more women's lacrosse right here in JumboCast.
Exactly. Amarcino on the X, 6 minutes to go. Crease dodge, shoots, and scores. There's your record. It belongs to this Jumbos team right here, right now. That is goal number 22 in an NESCAC game.
You have just witnessed history with that goal, ladies and gentlemen. 22 goals in a dominating 4 quarters for this team. I have still yet to come up with more synonyms, but I promise I will. This has just been an incredible sight to see here on Bello.
It has. And, I mean, you got to wonder if this game had maybe waited a little bit, if it hadn't gone to running clock in the second quarter, if it had taken till the third, would they be testing the record for just goals in a game?
I think isn't the record 27?
The record would take 27 to break the record. The record is currently 26 in a game against Cabrini in 1983.
Wow. That is an incredibly long-standing record.
It is, as a great draw control there by Grace Hammond, who's going to wheel into the attacking zone. And not planning on slowing down, though she will eventually dump it right off. Jumbo's going to run again from the X. Sapir. Going to collect up top. Emma Yale now on the field, along with Frericks, Hammond, Amarcino, and Lucy Hodge in the attacking third.
This team just isn't giving up.
Hand off. Magdalena Reaper. Saper thought about it. Drew 2. Skip pass to the X. Had an open Hodge. Amarcino didn't see her. Pass inside. Found Frericks. She gets hacked. Couldn't come up with it. Jumbo saved the ball, though. Hodge on the X. Gonna run around hard. Inside feed. Yale coming down Broadway. Great save. Rebound picked up by the Jumbos. 25 to shoot. And there will be a fresh. Yep, the referee's going to fix that. It's got to be a fresh 60, as that was a save made by the goalie.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, this Tufts team is just not giving up with the energy. I think that they know that they can continue increasing this program record, and they want to at least get about 1 or 2 more before they get off of this field tonight. This has just been a statement, especially after last weekend, and just a statement.
Yep. Still working on the clock here. Jumbo's bench giggling, laughing, having a grand old time. And eventually play will resume here. Fresh 60 for the Bows.
What a perfect day for this, too. It's a beautiful day out here in Bello.
Handoff on the X. Reaper shoots and scores! And a first career goal for Magdalena Reaper.
That's 2 Bows today with their first career goals. You couldn't have asked for a better day to do it. Not a raindrop here in the sky. A beautiful day, and it's been filled with Bows goals over and over again.
Yeah,
everyone is sharing the love today.
I don't know if our cameras can pick it up, but Jumbo's bench doing a elaborate choreographed dance to Magdalena Reaper's goal song. As back on the X here will be Grace Frericks. We dip under 3 minutes to go.
It's always great to see a freshman get their first ever goal, especially for a program like Tufts. It's great to see.
And how about this for a stat? 5 goals today from the freshman class.
That is amazing.
The freshman class themselves has outscored the Bobcats, though that changes as a hat trick for Caroline Keating.
If you're Bates, that's a positive you can take out of today, at least on a personal note. A hat trick for Caroline Keating, and just going home, even though you're not going to come home with the W in the column, you can at least say that you had a great personal performance.
Yeah, no, I think the ladies from Lewiston have a lot to take away and be proud from this game. I mean, you want to talk about like great performances. Obviously, phenomenal hat trick from Caroline Keating when you've only had like a half dozen to a dozen offensive possessions the entire game to get a hat trick is insane. And honestly, even though they've given up 23 goals, it could easily have been 40 if not for the goalkeeping performances for Avery Lehman and Abigail Zeal.
Exactly.
That draw sent skyward, and Frericks comes up with it herself. And man, if she scores, I would love to hear that Harry Potter theme song one more time. Grace Frericks was voted in our JumboCast interviews the Jumbo with the best goal song. Skylar Lloyd going to come back on momentarily. Yale. Goes left, goes right, draws 2. Still with the ball, Emma Yale. Collects it on the X. Sadie Dodson in as well for the Jumbos now. 40 on the shot clock. Hodge. Draws a stick check, goes around it. Inside feed to the X. Dodson. Gonna turn and run. 25. Up top to Frericks. Gonna take some individual brilliance here. Frericks gets to her left. Has a look, has a shot wide. Will stay with the Jumbos. 15. They gotta go quickly now. Amarcino. Gonna have to create for herself with 5. Gets free, gets a shot, saved. Rebound bouncing around. And corralled by the Jumbos. Amarcino shoots. Saved by Zeal. And that will be your ball game. We go final here from Bello. The Jumbos with a record-shattering performance send a statement not just to Wesleyan, not just to Middlebury, not just to the Neskek, but to the whole country, putting 23 past the Bobcats. Zach, your closing thoughts?
Well, I've come up with a few more synonyms. Domination, termination, incredible, amazing, empowering. Every word you could possibly describe today is how you can describe this Tufts win today, as they come out with if my math is correct, an 18-point win over this Bates team, which is incredible to see in lacrosse.
I got a way to describe it, but it's an interesting one. And this was what I describe as the prequel. You saw the prequel. On Saturday, we'll show you the sequel as Middlebury comes to town. Before we go to a post-game interview, I'd like to thank the other members of my crew. Micah Baum on the cams, Max Anthony directing me. Alongside me for the first half was Catherine Burns. For this second half, Zachary Miller. I've been Riley Daniel. We'll be back momentarily with a post-game interview with Kate Wijak. Stay tuned. I'm here post-game with Jumbo's grad defender, Kate Wijak. Kate, you're holding a little bit of a souvenir. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, my first collegiate goal. I just want to set the record straight. I didn't ask for the ball. I scored, got super hyped. The ref was like, was that your first goal? And I said, yeah, I'm a grad student defender. And she's like, do you want the ball? And I was like, yeah. So that's why I have the ball, super excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's rare to see a defender score. I mean, a lot of rarities today. I don't know if you guys know this. You guys broke the program record for NESCAC goals in a game today with 23.
Wow, I did not know that. That's sick. I also just want to say, part of the reason I scored that goal is because my fellow defender, Nicola Donlin, had an assist, and that I was like, I really want to do that, and so shout out to her for starting that.
All right, so it's a momentum thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about momentum. Tough game at the weekend against Wesleyan. How much was that on your mind coming into the mentality of today?
So it was on our mind a lot over the weekend, and we did a lot of reflection as a team. We talked about it for a while and debriefed the whole weekend on Monday. But after that, our attention was on today. And after this, our attention's fully on Saturday. The next game is always our biggest game. So we learned a lot. We looked a lot at that game, and we really learned from our mistakes. But today, that wasn't the focus. This game was the focus, and we took care of it.
All right. We got to talk about it. It's Saturday. It's Middlebury. It's senior day. What's the mentality going into that one?
Mentality is that this is the best Tufts lacrosse team that we've ever had, and I have I've never been more confident going into a Middlebury game than I am this year. So I'm very excited. The team's very excited. We have all the momentum with us, especially coming off of this win. Like you said, NESCAC record, so that's sick. But yeah, a lot of confidence. We know what's going to work for us, and we're just going to play some Tufts lacrosse.
All right, a confident Kate Wijak wants you to tune in at noon on Saturday for all of us here at JumboCast. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, stay home safely.